Yo, what's good everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and here's my prediction for Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, this is a fight that the fans have been wanting to see for a long time, and it's finally here. Both are in their prime, highly skilled power punchers, young and undefeated, and are big names in boxing. But ever since the inception of this fight, the majority of the boxing world has favored Tank to beat Ryan due to his overall skill and power. And I feel the same. I believe that Tank will beat and knock out Ryan because I believe he's just a better, more dynamic fighter with experience. A lot of fans think this will be an easy fight for Tank and see Ryan as a hype job, but contrary to what most fans think, I think this is a 60-40 fight and I see Ryan as a legitimate threat to Tank. I can see Ryan giving Tank a lot of trouble, especially in the early rounds, and truth be told, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan upsets Tank. Let me explain. Ryan has physical advantages that could be troublesome for Tank. He's taller, has longer reach, and is naturally bigger than Tank. Mario Barrios more or less had the same physical dimensions as Ryan, and we saw how much success Barrios had against Tank. In the early rounds, Barrios utilized his length to dictate the distance and fight at his range. With the superior reach, Barrios was able to hit Tank and land punches that are necessary to beat a southpaw, which are the straight right hand, left hook, and swivel jab. And with the height advantage, Barrios was able to evade punches by stepping back and pulling back, and was able to neutralize the offense of Tank. This made it hard and tricky for Tank to close the distance, which caused him to reach with his punches and put himself at risk. And because Tank is known for being a slow starter, the physical advantages of Barrios made Tank start even slower, thus causing Tank to lose the majority of the early to mid rounds. If Ryan can utilize his physical advantages and capitalize on Tank's tendency to start slow in the early rounds, Ryan can beat Tank. If Ryan fights at his range, keeps Tank at a distance, utilizing the straight right hand and an active jab, but also mixing it up with the lead left hook, Ryan can force Tank into situations where he'll reach with his punches, therefore giving Ryan the opportunity to counter Tank. And if Tank reaches with the left hand, Ryan can hurt and possibly knock out Tank, because Tank often drops his right hand when throwing the left hand. In my opinion, Ryan should come out on some Hagler Hearns type shit. He has enough speed and power to pressure Tank and force a fight, and it's no secret that Tank does get hit, and we've seen him get hit with clean punches, especially the swivel jab, left hook, and 2-3 combination. These are punches that we've seen Ryan do before and have great success in doing them. But if Ryan cannot stop Tank in the early rounds, then Ryan might get knocked the fuck out because Tank is the best at making adjustments. Tank starts off slow, but that's because he's collecting data. He'll use the early rounds to analyze his opponent's best attributes and weaknesses, and then make adjustments to neutralize those attributes and exploit those weaknesses by the mid to late rounds. And we've seen Tank do this to most of his opponents, especially when his opponents make mistakes. Barrios did a good job of maintaining distance with his jab until Tank started to paw and probe Barrios' left hand, taking away the jab and allowing Tank to close the distance. Rolly had success lunging in with the 2-3 combination until Tank made him pay with a counter left hand that he did not see coming. Leo Santa Cruz made the mistake of throwing 3 right hands in a row at the same tempo and was hit with an uppercut that sent Cruz into the shadow realm. Ryan has a lot of tendencies and mistakes that he makes and which Tank can exploit. Things such as keeping his chin in the air, backing straight out and pulling straight back, and being flat-footed. But the biggest mistake that Ryan makes is bad foot positioning in an open stance match. When an orthodox boxer fights a southpaw, they are supposed to step their lead left foot on the outside of the lead right foot of the southpaw to get a superior angle. However, Ryan has a tendency of stepping inside rather than out, which puts him at risk to get hit with the southpaw left hand, and it also makes it harder for him to land his own right hand. The inside foot positioning makes it easier to land a jab and get off a quick left hook, but it's also the reason why Luke Campbell dropped Ryan. Now imagine if Tank threw the same punch and hit Ryan with that shit. Furthermore, Tank is just more dynamic. We've seen Tank box using lateral movement and defense. We've seen Tank fight on the inside and brawl. We've seen Tank apply pressure and walk guys down. We've seen Tank counterpunch and also initiate. He's multi-dimensional. Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, is more or less one-dimensional. We haven't seen too much variety in his skill set and style. How will Ryan respond on the inside? How will Ryan respond if his left hand is neutralized? How will Ryan respond if he's pressured and put on the back foot? How good is Ryan's conditioning, especially with the weight cut? We don't know, and these type of questions will be asked if the fight goes into the later rounds. And Tank always has the nuclear option. At any moment, Ryan could get hurt and knocked out, whether if he's winning, losing, or if the fight is competitive. For these reasons, I have Tank winning this fight. Regardless, I'm hyped for this fight, so salute to both fighters, and whoever wins or loses gets my full respect. And I'm looking forward to see the potential matchups after this fight. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with AEO Boxing from Mediba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content's coming your way.